All right, hello everyone. There's so much that I want to say about Venus going retrograde. Yes, okay, there's so much that I want to say. Okay, it's happening May 13th and it's ending in June 25th, okay? So I'm going to put up the article hopefully by tomorrow I'll put it up. But I wrote more detail of what I'm saying in this video to you, and this video could be an hour long, and I should have went live for this video, but okay. So Venus in retrograde. Venus is love, beauty, abundance, prosperity, but it's also war, fighting for what is hers, right? That feminine energy. It's a feminine, when it gets into that fighting power, it is the feminine version of Mars, okay? So Venus now is in retrograde, right? And right now, what we're going through right now, we need abundance. But this time period, this is a crucial time right now, right? This is a doorway, an entranceway, a portal where you step into that energy, you step into that frequency, you step into that moment. And when you step into that moment, you can make positive changes, right? But I was saying to someone, I was saying to a lot of people, when you get a good idea and you're overdoing it, you are overdoing something that is good, right? And then it becomes toxic. If you are overdoing something that is good, it turns into something bad, right? I said this in March to people. If you're not good at listening, then you won't succeed. It just won't happen because you're not taking in anything. You're not learning. If you're not working together, if you're not working for the benefit of yourself first, then you can't work to good as a whole. It just prolongs anything getting better. If you overdo something that's bad, it's no good. If you overdo something that's good, it loses its effect, right? So before the start of summer, if we don't make a shift, right? The spiritual shift is connected to the real world, if you will, shift to success. It is all connected. So if the shift isn't moving in the positive direction, nothing is good is going to come out of it. Venus is operating in the 11th house, right? So with Venus in this 11th house, she's bringing her love, her beauty, all of these things, right? She's bringing all of that. But she's bringing abundance, right? And into the 11th house, she wants to bring this connective communication of friendship, right? And of reintroducing ourselves into society, right? So if we are not willing to listen, to take instructions, to be a friend to ourselves and then be a friend to someone else. Being in the 11th house, you are the traditional friend of society, right? And Venus is saying, okay, how much do you love yourself? Reflect on that. How much do you care about yourself? Reflect on that. How much do you care about living an abundance, prosperous life? Reflect on that. Because when it's in retrograde, it looks like it's moving backwards, right? But it's taking a pause from us here on earth. It's saying, rewind in your mind a little bit. Look at what you're actually doing, right? So you have to reveal to yourself how you are going to interact with people. And the 11th house is so powerful because it really wants you to succeed, okay? The 11th house wants your groups. It wants your friendship. We want to reintroduce ourselves to the world, right? To society, right? We want to have our wishes for our futures happen, our hopes for our futures happen. We want technology in our lives, right? But we also need humanity in our lives, and we have to have humanity for ourselves and then work as a group in reintroducing ourselves. You know, when you need a time to be like the hermit in tarot, and then you gather all this information, and then you're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna walk the path. I'm gonna be going down this moon card road, and you know, taking this path, and as I go, I see what happens. Well, you'll see what happens, but you'll be so armed with all of this knowledge, right, to reintroduce yourself to society. And we're gonna have a new normal, which is not a bad thing. And when we have people that have a strong voice to be heard by millions, and it's not projected in a positive way, and the time is being wasted. Venus retrograde in Gemini is asking, how are you wasting your time? Because Gemini communicates, Gemini is air, Gemini is social, right? And Gemini wants to be social, but Gemini also wants to be safe. Gemini and Venus, it's like beauty and fun. This is like the best party you can have, right? Once things get better, where I live, they're going to have the best parties ever. I know it. But right now, we want that 11th house. Remember the number 11, it comes with a strong message. And the strong message right now for us is, how can we do better to be ready for our summer, to be ready to, allow me to reintroduce myself. Maybe you had your confidence and then you lost it, and now you're going to get it back, right? And damn anyone that's going to stand in your way, right? You can just only be so nice, right? So you're ending these negative relationships you have with yourself or with other people. There's so many things to unravel in this, right? Okay, so I want to make the point of reintroducing ourselves. Venus, when a retrograde happens, it's our time to really look deep at what we're not doing right, not to feel bad about ourselves, not to have that person putting you down and saying negative things, right? Because maybe they don't want you to succeed, or they want to make you better, but they're expressing themselves in a wrong way. We need the message to be positive, to be more clear, to be more direct, to be more reasonable. Not reasonable, that's not the word, to be more effective, right? So when we're reintroducing ourselves, we want Venus to make us more attractive to who we're trying to attract, a person, a groups of people. We want Venus to be our motivator, right? So we're drawing in that energy because we have it within us. We just tapping into the frequency of the astrology of it, right? We have it within us. We're just building it up within ourselves. So we want that attractive energy, so things flow and things are fun. It won't happen right away, but the strongest will feel it in the benefit of us doing things right in the springtime right now, and in June, the summer will start, right? So we want to make sure that we're ready for September. This is gearing us up for September, okay? This is gearing us up for the end of summer, September, October, November. Those 3 months, September, October, November, it's gearing us up for then, okay? So we're trying to be ready for then. So we need to do right by ourselves and right to everyone around us. If we can actually be loving to ourselves, right? Then, and if majority of people are on that same frequency, then things will work out good. We can't run from our challenges, right? If you're backed up against the wall, you can't run. You have to have a new normal. You have to not listen to people who are creating more drama instead of more solutions, right? We need more solutions. We need more realistic approach, right? And that can happen for some, but if an area is so toxic for years, it's not going to be able to look at it as a large picture. If an area is toxic for many, many years, it's not going to be able to be one force and a strong force when it needs to be, right? It's not. And if you're dealing with something you can't see, and think of air, and Gemini's air, if you can't fight off something you can't see, it's harder. But if you've been working on yourself and then other people in your surroundings have been working on themselves, how much more powerful is that, right? It's like you are a ninja, right? And when you don't have that, when you just have like sheeps, then it's like, it's not going to work, right? So Venus is like, how do I work on myself? Working on yourself, and then moving forward. Okay. So another thing I wanted to tap into is love. Venus is about love. Everyone wants to know about love. Okay. So with everything that's going on this year, some weddings have happened, but when Venus is in retrograde, because Venus deals with love, it's not a good time to get married. So if you are getting married in June, between May 11th and May 28th, am I right? May 28th. June 25th. Yeah. If May 13th or 14th, depends on your location, is when Venus is going to go in retrograde. I need to talk about May 14th as well. Then between, say, May 13th to June 25th, if your wedding is in between that time frame, it's a good thing that it's not happening, because you should not have booked it when Venus was in retrograde. Even if you like astrology, you flirted with it, and you're like, oh, I really want to get married, and you're in desperate mode, or you're like, oh, this would be great for everyone to get together. June is a good month, but if you're getting married anytime after the 25th, that's really good. Okay, that just gives your relationship a strong chance of surviving in astrology, right? And, I'm going to stop saying in astrology, because this has been tested throughout time, and whoever is not tapping into it will just have more challenges. That's just it. Okay, so the last quarter moon happens on May 14th. You want to tap into that energy, because the moon, and I'm going to bring up the chart. I wrote it down, and it's for the article, and it's just too much to look at. But it's a lot of information to unpack, so that's why I will share the link in this video of the article that I wrote. It's just writing down kind of everything that I wanted to tap into. So most of you know I teach meditation, so it's a powerful day to meditate on the 14th of May. Okay, so let me click in the calendar, because it's in the last quarter moon. The last quarter moon is that day. And in some locations, that's when Venus retrogrades in Gemini. Some places will happen on May 13th. But either way, you're tapping into the energy. It's all good. Okay? Now, the last quarter moon, it's very magnetic, the earth, the core of the earth and the moon. So this is like a pulling of energy, right? So, and it's also Aquarius is in the moon. So Aquarius is an air sign, but a lot of people think it's a water sign. It's a water bearer. So you think about the ocean tides, you think about water, you can have your bowl of water there for your meditation. You're tapping into air, you can be outside. You can have your meditation on that day and focusing on, okay, what is my main issue? What do I need to work on? What do I need to rid out of my life? So you want to get rid of that, and that's what your meditation should be focusing on, right? So releasing any kind of negative emotions would be a good thing, okay? Any kind of worry and doubt. But you want to think about, what do I need to get rid of so that my path is clear for after this Venus retrograde, so I'm reintroducing myself into the world. Even if say you have a business and it's opening again, and you guys are, doing all the precautions that you need to do for your business. You're taking all the right steps that you need to do for your business to be open and for you to be healthy and so on, right? Because there's no money falling out of the sky ever, right? It's either something was taken from someone and now it's like, okay, that happened, but people were always making a living for themselves. So nothing is falling out of the sky of prosperity for us to wait around, right? So it's like your back is against the wall. You can't run from it. But how do you survive? Because there's not a solution to just lay down and die, right? Or to wait. So it's like this is a sticky space, but we're animals, right? And you can't ask an animal to not fight for its life. That's just ridiculous. So what do you need to work on, so when you're reintroducing yourself out of the Venus retrograde, so that you are more ready. So you're still step by step from the 13th of May to June, okay? June 25th. I don't want to say the wrong date because I never like to say the wrong date, right? So when you're working on yourself here, what's your meditation going to be about? Because you have to know what your issue is, and then you can form your meditation around that, right? What's the main thing that you need to work on? What does Venus cover? What do you need to work on there? Okay? Think about that. Where is Aquarius in your chart? Look that up. What does that mean? What house is it in? Right? What's going on there in your birth chart? What do you think that you need to work on? Because the start of the day, the moon cycle of what the start of the day can be a clue to what you need to work on, right? So on the 14th, it's in Aquarius, and on the 13th, it's in Aquarius. So what do you need to work on? Right? So figure out what do you need to work on. And then intuitively, you might know what you need to work on, and then you look at your birth chart and it goes, where's my Aquarius? Okay, this is my challenge right now with what I'm dealing with. Okay, so that's one clue that you can look at. But also, where's your Venus in your birth chart, right? That's another thing you can look at. There might be an issue there, right? Where's Gemini in your birth chart? That's another thing that you can look at. Even if it's something that you don't want to face, and you look at it and you go, oh, I'm fine with this. But then that could be the core of why you keep repeating the same lessons, right? So that's one of the main things that I wanted to mention to you guys about this Venus retrograde. But the article that I wrote, I will put that up, and that will give you guys some more insights on the duration of your meditation. Should at least be 20 minutes. Okay, I do want to mention that in the video. Okay, it should be at least 20 minutes from what I've written down, based on the 14th. I'm basing this on the 14th, right? Because it's the third day that the moon's in Aquarius, a lot more power, and then that night it switches over to Pisces. So it's 23 degrees 11 minutes in Aquarius on that day. So at least 20 minutes for your meditation. If you say you're not a person that meditates, you lay down and you take a breather and you just kind of relax your body, right? You're playing music, whatever. Meditate, sit down and actually look at your plans that you had for this year and replan them. That's another big thing that you can do on the 14th. You can do it on the 13th too. Depends on your location. But on the 14th, look at what were my plans for this year, right? And then look at it and then start to say, okay, things will need to change, right? And if you've been meditating and working on yourself for a long time, you can devote a couple hours during the day between this retro, you're still working on yourself while you are replanning your year calendar, right? Because there's a shift, and we're going to keep reevaluating ourselves throughout this year. And if you watch my, I do my yearly tarot video reading, and it was so strong in December 2019. I was like, I should do the Chinese zodiac. I really feel that I should look into that and the meaning of that. And, I remember feeling weird going, I see a lot of people staying home this year and I don't know why. So I think in one of the videos I've said that. So definitely look at what year you were born, what's your animal, and then watch that yearly reading for 2020. Okay? I've been telling everyone to watch that because I feel like I really tapped into something in that one. So, yeah. I don't like to, toot my own horn, but yeah. So definitely look into that. And the article has a lot of different things. Venus is going to give you a confidence. You have to work on it, right? Venus is going to help you with love. right? You have to work on it, and your abundance, right? Venus is going to have you reintroduce yourself and then to your social group. So we're in a time right now where the 11th house is all about social groups, and Venus is retrograding in the 11th house. Venus, okay, Venus, and another powerful thing, Venus is from the 5th house of of pleasures and of you know, love, right? So you want to do things that is pleasing for you. You want to socialize, right? Because Venus is it rules the 5th house, right? So Venus wants to take this energy and try to apply it to reintroducing herself, yourself, okay? So this is going to be like, okay, how do I, it's your Venus in the 5th house is your pleasure, right? And your prosperity, your good fortune, right? Right? Because she creates our own success like a Jupiter, right? And then she's taking her energy, because she's a 5th house energy, right? Of pleasure, of good fortune, right? Of love, all of that, and into the 5th house of friendships and re-socializing. And a lot of people want that, but we have to look at this in a new way, a new approach, right? Working on ourselves, right? Working on the Venus within us, right? Masculine or feminine, we're all at the original start, this feminine energy, right? We're all at the start. That's what we are. So definitely doing that. All right. We're going to definitely be reintroducing ourselves to ourselves and in society. This wind is kicking. This wind is like coming through. I love it. And it feels so nice too. Ah, 8 of Cups popped out. Don't look at my nails. I'm going to hold it like this. 8 of Cups. 8 of Cups. 8 of Cups. It's definitely like an eclipse, and I've been thinking about the eclipse coming up this summer. So it's definitely an eclipse, okay? And it's like you can feel like 8 is an even number. You can feel that everything is balanced, but there's something off. And I feel like the something off is the lack of working together, the lack of really caring about oneself, the lack of thinking for oneself, not being a sheep, but being like the wise wolf, not just a wise wolf, right? Right? And I feel like there's an eclipse that needs to happen with us where we are really changing, making a strong turn, a strong change, a strong reflection, right? And really it's a soul journey, right? Because people are animals, and when we feel like there's no hope, we're going to make a strong change. So there needs to be a better way of doing things, right? I'm looking at the clouds. There needs to be a better way of doing things, a smarter way of doing things. And this card is just reminding us of that individual journey of thinking, walking, time to ourselves, to reflect, and to make a deep thought, right? And everything might look good, but everything might be even, like 8's an even number. You think of 8, infinity, right? Right, a continuous cycle. So do you want a cycle of being ignorant and just being whatever that will be, right? It could go on. Or do you want a cycle of actually working as one in a healthy way, right? And less drama, more facts, more that new information, this new way of being. It's something that you could have known a long time ago, but now you really have to apply it and be better and moving forward, right? I think this is perfect. Is the wind gonna blow you away? I think so. I don't think this would be really cool if it could stay there. I think so. So I really feel that. Yeah. So definitely leave a comment, click like, make sure you subscribe. That's the way to find this channel again. If you're not subscribed, Share this with someone. This Venus in retrograde is really us reintroducing ourselves to ourselves and to society. Very powerful moment. All right. Yeah, that's it. I'm going to upload these videos. All right, guys. So just make the best of this Venus retrograde and look out for the eclipse video. I'm going to make some for my Reiki people and for my meditation people as well, and for my spiritual people here. Okay. All right, so I'll talk to you guys soon. Click like and definitely subscribe. It really helps this channel. All right, and visit my website. I'm going to make articles for every astrology that I do. All right, guys. All right, peace.